96.7 KCAL rocks. It is your Monday and time to talk some sports with our guy Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Yo, what is up? Good morning, everybody out there. Hey, if you're a local Dodger fan here in the Inland Empire, maybe you had a chance to go out and be a part of that sold-out crowd at Rancho Cucamonga on Sunday to see Clayton Kershaw making a rehab assignment for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. He actually looked pretty good. 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, but he did give up a home run to a guy named Justin Farmer of the Lake Elsinore Storm. So, I don't know, maybe that's a name you should watch out for. If you're a Padres fan, Justin Farmer, maybe he'll come up through the ranks. But if you're a Dodgers fan, Clayton Kershaw looked pretty sharp. It's his pelvis. That's kind of the spine to the pelvis area where he's had that inflammation. But he looked pretty good. He felt good, and we should see him back probably later this week.
I think you pretty much answered my question, but it was going to be like, when he comes down to these things, are these guys gunning for him, really trying to go after him, or are they really just like, let's make him look good? If guy went yard on him, I'm guessing they're trying to go after him then.
Right. It can be a little bit of both, right?
Yeah,
I mean, doing as much as he can, but he also can be trying to work through stuff a little bit too.
Right.
So maybe he will be hanging one over the plate a little bit, and not as worried about it.
Exactly. I think it's two things. I think one is for Justin Farmer, that's a big feather in your cap, right? To say you had a home run off Clayton Kershaw. But on the flip side, if you're Clayton Kershaw, you just want to go out there and basically what they say is, you put in your work. He pitched 4 innings. He probably had a pitch count. Work on these pitches. Don't worry about if you're giving up base hits. I'm sure he's going to get back to the big league club and look just fantastic. Like, it happens all the time. Like, these major leaguers come down, they might get a little roughed up, or let's say they're a hitter and they go 0 for 4, and then they get back up to the bigs and they're going 2 for 4, hitting home runs. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not like, oh my gosh, he got hit a home run by a minor leaguer. It's not a huge deal in the big scheme of things.
Any word on whether it was like Stranger Things night or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, that's the best part of minor leagues. Right.
I know. I guess it was the Clayton Kershaw thing, but it was pretty cool. Nearly 5,000 people there, so it's cool to see the kids get a bunch of autographs and stuff. Always cool.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a promotion that day, but if Clayton Kershaw's pitching, all of a sudden it's Clayton Kershaw Day, right? Like, everything else goes out the window.
Right.
Let's go to the Dodgers. Let's talk about the Dodgers a little bit. This was kind of an interesting story. There's a guy named Eddie Alvarez that just got called up by the Dodgers. And his claim to fame is he has won 2 silver medals in the Olympics, one as a baseball player, but also one as a speed skater. He won a silver medal in the Winter Olympics, but he was a Dodgers minor leaguer. He got called up and actually had a big base hit yesterday against the Mets, although the Dodgers did lose to the Mets. The final score was 5-4 in 10 innings in that one, so it was a series split. But yeah, Eddie Alvarez is kind of a neat story, guys.
See, some people do dual sports. His dual sport was speed skating and baseball. That's a wild little combination.
It's got me thinking, though, a hockey-baseball hybrid might be interesting to see. Baseball on ice.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, you know what? We've seen, obviously, the baseball-football combination. And I think what Danny Ainge was he baseball and basketball? Like, so we've seen some different combinations. But, like, a hockey-baseball or speed skating and baseball, like, I haven't heard that one yet.
No.
Baseball on ice with a puck.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
It could. And that was a big series for the Dodgers. They split with the Mets, and going into the series, that was the 2 best teams in the National League. They had the best records. They had the most wins, and it was a series split. And I, as a Mets fan, full disclosure, I would say it was more of a victory for the Mets because think about it. They still don't have Jacob deGrom, and they still don't have ex-Dodger Max Scherzer in the starting rotation. So the Dodgers split with the Mets, despite not having maybe the 2 best pitchers in the National League or 2 of the, maybe top 5 pitchers in the National League for the Mets.
I mean, we don't like it because we're outside of New York, but it looks like the Yankees and the Mets are pretty decent.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. It hurts.
Yeah, when you look at baseball as a whole, right? Yankees have the most wins in the American League. Mets have the most wins in the National League. Not that we won a Subway Series, but it sure kind of looks that way. At least this point in the season. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, though.
Pep, what is going on with the Angels? I have not paid attention, and I see that they are on a huge losing streak.
Oh, man, 40. Okay, so speaking of, there's still a lot of baseball to be played. We'll file this under, there's still a lot of baseball to be played, and that's good news for the Angels because they have lost 11 in a row, and it looked like they were going to snap that losing streak yesterday against the Phillies. And Philadelphia came roaring back with a grand slam by Bryce Harper, then a walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th, and now it's 11 straight losses for the Angels. And guess what? The Angels will get the Mets this week, too.
Great. I think, though, baseball's such a long season, 40, which I know you don't like, but if you're not going to do well, which will happen during the season because it's so long, now's the time to kind of slump, get through it, start ramping up for the playoffs if they're going to turn it around.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
The Dodgers are going to do it. The Angels, we haven't seen it, and I said it's different, so I'm going to have to say that they're going to get over it, pull themselves together, and then do well for the end of the season.
You know, and that was kind of the Dodgers thing, you know, 5+ years ago, right? 10 years ago, when they were like, hey, they're really good, but they're going to have some huge, like, September slump. Something's going to keep them out of the playoffs. They look good, but the slump is on the way. So if the Angels did it now, there's plenty of time to rebound and make that push to at least get into the playoffs. Maybe not win the West, but at least get into the postseason.
They just need to not remember that they're the Angels.
Forget about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, NBA Finals, we have 2 games in the books for the NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. And after 2 complete, it was a split 1-1. And I'm actually kind of surprised Boston got one on the road. They did what they needed to do. I thought Boston might get 1 or 2 games in this series, but I really didn't think one would come in San Francisco. So credit to Boston as we go back to Boston for Game 3.
It seems all of us and our predictions are on course so far. I have Golden State in 7. 40 has Boston in 6, and Mr. Pep has Golden State in 6. Are you gentlemen still feeling comfortable with your decisions?
I'm good on mine. Boston all the way, baby.
Okay, I think it's going 7 for sure.
Yeah, I'm a little more shaky. Boston found a way to defend Golden State, so I'm like, oh man, okay, maybe this could go all 7, but I'll hang tight with Golden State in 6.
Yeah, that clip of Marcus Smart from Game 1 is awesome.
Yeah,
I finally got around to seeing that. That is just awesome.
It is awesome, and remember, follow the money. It's more money to go to Game 7. The NBA makes a lot more money if they go to Game 7. I bet. I can already feel it.
Yeah, nobody wants a 4-game sweep anyways, right? Nobody wants it. The TV networks don't want it. Nobody, ad revenue, nobody wants it. So, yeah, a Game 7, all those eyeballs on a Game 7, like winner take all, like, of course the NBA wants that. Of course, the TV network wants that. All that stuff. So, we'll see. I don't know. I'll still go with Golden State in 6, but...
That's the one thing. We need the closer games because so far it's like Game 1 was by 12. Last night was more than that. Like you see these series go back and forth, but when they go back and forth with blowouts, it's like it's still not that fun to watch.
Don't you guys feel like these new athletes kind of just quit towards the end of the game and let the game go? I feel like in the 80s and the 90s, they did not do that. Those guys fought till the end, maybe even literally fought.
Even a couple years ago, we were getting finals games that came down to buzzer beaters and stuff like that. It hasn't happened recently.
There seems like there's a screw it, next game.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems to be that kind of attitude.
Yeah, the old Detroit Pistons would not let that happen, right, man? You get an elbow in the head. If you were 20 down, doesn't matter. You get an elbow in the head or something.
Yeah, then you do fight.
And guys, finally, we do a lot of GOAT talk, right, here on the show. GOAT talk, talking Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, like all those guys. Here's another GOAT, and I know I'm not a big tennis fan, and I don't know if there's a big tennis crowd out there, but Rafael Nadal, man, what he is still doing at 36 years old. He just won the French Open yesterday for the 14th time, which is just astronomical. That's ridiculous, and it's 22 Grand Slam championships for Rafael Nadal, and that's the most all time. Right now he is the GOAT.
And it really is impressive because, even 10 years ago, he started having problems with his knees. And even then, he still dominates because he's become a little smarter, Rafi. Yeah. He used to be really reckless, Rafi. But they thought he was done a decade ago. So this is super impressive. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he won his first French Open at 19, and now he's 36, and he's still finding ways to win. And again, he has more wins than Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, the Joker. So we like our GOATs on here, and Rafael's another GOAT adding to his collection of Grand Slam titles, man. It's pretty impressive.
Always good to have a little GOAT talk. Speaking of GOAT, Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Oh, you are way too nice. But you can check it out on Inland Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.